Hello. I don't even know how to do this intro. Welcome to YouTube. Today I'm going to be talking about a specific health challenge that I see throughout the world in today's age, and something that I guess means something to me, which is mental health and specifically men, and also mental health in athletes as well. This topic is important to me because, a man myself and athlete, a former athlete as myself, I found it pretty interesting to learn about and to know about, and I feel like it's an issue that should be brought up more to everyone. So I'll just dive in. So there are countless of different types of mental health issues that affect us in today's age, such as anxiety and depression, and these issues can affect us in a multitude of different ways and distract us from our everyday task, and can also be the root of issues in our family as well, and in extreme cases can cause different types of harm as well. And when looking at mental health and what it has done to us as a society, you can see that while there are many resources out there that are there for us to prevent mental health from becoming an extreme case like suicide and stuff like that, and there's things that are there to just help us go through these type of issues, I still feel like as a society we don't put enough focus and emphasis on this type of thing. I feel like it gets overshadowed a lot to different types of issues that present themselves in our society. And I think the one that gets overshadowed the most is mental health in men specifically, because I think the way that we were raised in most families, the way that most families were raised, it's the men that they're supposed to be the ones that are strong-minded. They're not supposed to feel any type of weakness, feel any type of sadness or vulnerability. They're supposed to be the top of the top, the man of the family, and they're not supposed to show any weakness. But in reality that's not true. Men should be able to show a different side and show that weakness, because everybody's not superhuman. We're not some superhero that doesn't feel pain. We feel pain. It might be different from a woman's type of pain, but we do feel a different type of pain, and that is one thing that's overlooked. And I think I did research on when doing research on this. I wanted to take a little bit of a piece from the Anxiety and Depression Association of America, and they said that feeling depression and anxiety, these stigmas are real and deeply affect men, as nearly as 1 in 10 men experience depression or anxiety, but less than half will receive treatment, and more than 4 times as many men as women die by suicide every year. And this information to me is absolutely insane, but at the same time it's believable, because I believe with the way that we were raised, men tend to more so hide their feelings. They won't show vulnerability in front of their family or their wives or children or parents or something like that. And I think that's definitely a true fact for us. But I think the ideology of a man being in sync with their feelings and understanding them as a feminine thought process, I think that is a thing that's taught at a young age, and I think it's outdated, in all honesty. And when those things are taught and outdated, and you're more so focused to be able to hide those feelings, you can see more serious cases such as suicide, because people are hiding those feelings and everything like that. So I like to go a little bit, I know I don't have that much time left, but one of the pieces that I found that relates to me the most is sports, is athletes and what happens with them. I like to take a little bit of an example of NBA star DeMar DeRozan. He I've watched him throughout my whole entire life growing up, seeing him get drafted and become a superstar in the NBA, and seeing him speak. He's one of like the first few athletes in the NBA scene to speak out on mental health, as he in 2018 during one of his best years and in an All-Star season, middle of the All-Star break weekend, he sent us light text of, and I quote, this depression gets the best of me. And to DeMar, that probably was just something. At first, he was like, I'm just gonna tweet this out," and he just went to bed. But I don't. He never realized that that was something that was like gonna blow up. That was something big because nobody understood it, and they were like, "Wow, somebody like this is tweeting something out." So seeing him tweet that out, and then him bringing mental health on a bigger scale in the league, it was something phenomenal. And according to health.com, he went on to say this quote. He said, "I was taught to keep my head down and never show emotion. That has carried with me for years. In some ways it still does, but carrying that load of emotion for too long can break you." He said, "For reasons like these, there exists a stigma associated with depression and anxiety within the Black community. It's more difficult for us to share, especially for Black men. My advice to Black men, women, and children who are struggling is to release. Do not suppress the anger, guilt, sadness, whatever emotion it might be. Get it out. Find a support group, seek a trustworthy confidant, and surround yourself with like-minded people." And that one spoke volumes to me because I can personally relate to that as an athlete and dealing with pressures and anxiety and stuff like that. I can relate to that wholeheartedly. And it's honestly amazing to see an athlete of his caliber, at the top of the top, be able to show some type of feeling that like he's human too, and I don't think people realize that about athletes. They're human too. They might seem superhuman because they're the best athletes of the world. They can jump the highest, they can sprint the fastest and stuff like that, but in reality they have the same beating heart just like us. They put their pants on to one leg at a time just like us. I mean, there's nothing. They just have a little bit more athleticism to them, but there's not many changes, not many differences in that. So I feel like this was a pretty important topic for me, and I really enjoyed being able to research this and understand it and everything like that. So yeah, that's it.